Yo, I just wanted to talk to you about this app called Mistplay. I've been using it kind of on and off. I don't really use it that much. I actually stopped using it for a couple of years, and then I came back just to see how it was. But Mistplay is a get paid to play beer money app, which means it asks you to download games, and then you play them. You get like XP or something, and then you level up, and then you get like units for doing that, and then you cash out for like PayPal and all that. But I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna be real. I call this app like the last resort, like the bottom of the bottom for like get paid to play. And I'll get to why in a little bit. We're at the end of like when I start ranting about it and why I don't like this app. But on a side note, I don't think I've ever seen more ads for any beer money app than Misplay. Like this thing's everywhere. Like you see the same creators doing like the same ad and stuff. And like trust me, I see a lot of ads every day. All right. Um, and I'll get to why, and that kind of like adds on to like why I don't like this app. But anyways, I'll show you on my phone how this app works and all that. But yeah, let's move on to my phone.
Alright, this is Misplay. This is kind of what the home screen kind of looks like. You earn these things called units, and I'll put the conversion rates on the screen. They're also on my blog if you want to check them out. But PayPal's got the worst conversion rate. Amazon's got the second worst. And then the rest, like the 40 other convert or cash outs that you can do, have the best conversion rates. They're not that much different, but like if you really want to squeeze as much as you can, PayPal is probably not the best option, but I still do PayPal. There's a couple ways that you can earn, such as this daily streak thing. All you have to do is like play a game for a couple minutes, and then it should pop up if you have the notifications on. It'll pop up and say like streak, and you'll earn 2 units. And 2 units is like it's not a lot. It's like a tenth of a coin, I think, or a tenth of a penny. I don't remember. You'll the main way that you earn is from uh doing uh the level ups on these games, and that's kind of how Midplay works. Is it asks you to download games, and then you get XP for playing the games, and then you level up, which is very different from a lot of other get paid to play apps, because the other get paid to play apps are multi-level rewards, and they'll usually say like below here, it'll instead of checkpoint, it'll say like, oh, complete level 10 or complete level this, or have this power, or whatever the tasks are and stuff. And the second currency that this app has is gems. These purple gems, you earn like a certain amount for spending. As you can see, you earn 2 gems per dollar spent. I don't remember the conversion rate, but they're really bad. Like I remember doing like the calculations. It's on my blog somewhere, or it should be, but it's terrible. And there are other like get platforms that will ask you to pay and then for a task, but like it's a better rate. Even if you lose money, it's still a better rate if you want to spend, or if you really like the game and you want to spend. I'd recommend doing it on another platform. They'll have better tasks for you anyways, and you'll probably earn a lot. You'll earn like way more than you would on Misplay. Um, Something that I don't like about Misplay is like the level system. Like I think getting past level 10, it feels like it's doubled the XP from the previous levels. Like it just gets exponentially harder and like takes longer to level up. And there's like a cap for how much XP you can earn in a day. But I'll get into that in a second. To kind of see a general idea of how much you'll earn is like these multipliers, like this 5x or this 4.5x. If we click on this 5x, it'll say that you'll earn 100 units per level, and if we compare that to, I don't know, like a 4, you'll earn 80. Like it's a drastic difference of how much units you get per level. Um, and trust me, you do not earn a lot from this. Like this one app right here, earning 80 per level. There's a max of 21 levels if I'm correct, and it's probably gonna take you a long time to hit that. I don't know if there's like a time limit for how long you can before the offer expires, because like every other app has about 30 days or 32 days before like the offer expires. Like you have to complete all the tasks within that day, or however many tasks you complete is just how much you'll get paid and all that. But I don't think Misplay has a time limit. At least I didn't find one. I don't see one right here. But uh, like I said, I don't like the system. I think it's really slow. You also earn very little, and the conversion rates are very low. Um, but some of these ones will be boosted, as you can see. Like you'll see like boosted games right here. I've already downloaded most of the boosted games, but if you look at this, you'll earn 120, which is a lot more than the other ones. But the problem with this is, as you can see right here, it says ends in 22 hours and 54 minutes. I think it. I think for like new games that like they boost, it's 24 hours. And the problem with this, as I was talking about earlier, is there's a certain amount of XP that you can get. If it's a new game, you can get to about level 5 or 5.5. So you can do that in within an hour. So depending on how long you or what time you download the game and how long the boost is left, you might only get like 1 day of boost. And then you waste like 20 something hours of the boost, which kind of sucks. Um, for as long as I've used this, you don't get the boost again for like the game that you've already downloaded, which sucks. I don't like the system. It just feels very FOMO-ish to like try to get you to download games, and then you end up not earning a lot, and then. But I'll talk about that in a second. Um, Another way that you can earn is by doing these quests. I don't like doing these quests. Like, sure, you can earn a little bit, like this 20, this 10, and this 5 right here by playing 30 minutes or reaching level 3 or playing another game for 15 minutes, which is nice and all that. But once you complete these, you unlock 3 more. I'm not going to complete them right now, but I think there's about 15 per day. And if you complete a certain amount, you can open this chest. As you can see, I think you have to complete 5, and then you open a chest for 100 to 500 units, which is nice and all, but it's not that much. Now the problem that I have with these quests is I've had days where I have these like terrible quests where it asks you to pay or to spend like $3 or $5 for a certain game, and it's like you don't earn, like you barely earn that much money, and it's asking you to pay that much. And sure, you get gems back and you get like these units, but like you're literally getting pennies back for doing all of them. It's just not, it's not good. Below that, you'll see this buddy quest right here. I accidentally opened my chest earlier, but um, you have 7 days to complete this. I'll put up an image of like the rewards and kind of how it looks in a second. But you have 3 tiers. If you complete 5 quests, you unlock the first chest, which earns you about 20 units, I think, and then the second chest, I think it requires like 10 quests completed, which will earn you about 40 units, and then 25. These numbers could be wrong. I don't remember, but 25 will earn you the big chest. I don't remember the percentages, but earlier I opened the chest and I got 1,000, as you can see right here from the buddy quests, which is really lucky. I think it's like a 3% chance to get 1,000 units, but I lucked out. But the problem that I have with this buddy quest is like even though it's 7 day quests, you might get someone like you get someone random, and you get entered into this buddy system when you complete one of these quests, and then the other person will also be tied to you when they complete this quest as well. And I've had so many times where I just get someone who does one quest or who doesn't do any of the quests, and then you're just left to be the one to try to complete them all. And like I've just never reached the final chest because I keep getting the more that you use this app, the more they'll push. At least I've noticed, the more they'll push the quests that ask you to earn money. And if these first 3 quests are asking you to pay for an in-game purchase just to complete these quests to move on to the next 3, like that sucks. Imagine like 7 days straight, you get all of those, and I've had that for like I think 3 or 4 days, and I couldn't complete any quests, um, which is terrible. But I just don't like this buddy system. It's not great. You don't earn a lot. Like that, 1,000's nice and all, but like it's still not that much. I've never used the sweepstakes. I think you have to enter a certain amount of units to join or something. I don't remember. I've never done them. I think you just get tickets or something. I don't know. I've never won them. Never done them. Feel free to do them if you want. Like 10,000 is nice and all, but I don't know. You can get a little bit of extra units from here. Like 5 is not a lot of units, but if you want to squeeze as much as you can follow them on here. All you have to do is just tap once, and then you can just go back to the app, and it should give you the 5 units without following them. Like they can't track it. You also earn 15 from subscribing to the newsletter. I think you can do the same thing there. I don't remember what I did. Um, you can also search for different games right here. They have like a ton of games. This is the cash out right here. I don't recommend doing like these are the units right here. For the gems to units, I put the conversion. I did the conversion rate. I don't have it up on my blog, and I'm not gonna have it up as a picture, but it's not worth it. Trust me. But you have all these conversion rates right here. If you want an avatar, you can get the avatars, I guess. But if you want to use this app to earn money, I wouldn't recommend it. But you can see a lot of these cash outs right here. And they have like a lot of cash outs. I think they have like 40 or something. Now the thing with misplay is like, I think up to like $25 with anything, it should be like as long as you cash out $25 minimum, the conversion that's the best conversion rate that you'll get for any cash out. Anything below that is the worst one. It's really not that much of a difference. It's like a 0.0001 unit difference, so it's really not that much if you want to do the minimum cash out or whatever. Um, it's nothing really special about this. I'm not gonna download any of the games because it's just not worth it. I do highly recommend you reading my multi level offer blog page. I don't remember what I'm gonna call it, but I haven't written it up yet. But I'll have it up within the next week. That talks about these multi-level rewards and like why you should be careful if you really want to earn money, like why you should be careful on downloading certain apps for like your phone and stuff and using certain apps and stuff. I'm not going to talk about it right here. um, I don't want Misplay to find my video and change things around because they don't talk about this stuff, so you know but anyways, there's nothing really big to show you. You just download the app and then it'll play the app and then it'll track it all. One problem I have with Misplay, before I forget, is that when the way that it tracks, it's a lot better than it used to. Like years ago, you would have to like literally tap your screen or interact with your screen to not have it like flag you for not being active. Like every 30 seconds, if you didn't do it, it would like keep spamming you by saying like, "Oh, we're not going to track um your game offer because you're not being active or anything." And it still kind of does that, but it's not as forceful anymore. Like you can tap maybe every once a minute or 2 minutes. I'll talk more about how to like kind of cheese the system for certain games on my blog and stuff. I won't talk about it in the video because I don't want them to find it and and all that. But yeah, that's kind of all that I have for talking about misplay. I might have forgotten about a couple things. This is a walkthrough in real time. Um, but I'll have all the information on my blog and I'll update it as much as I can if I find new information or anything. But anyways, I'm gonna get to my rant on why I would highly recommend not using this app. And yeah. Oh, my bad. I forgot to show the cash out. All right. So I haven't cashed out on this, but it's a great time to cash out just to see what they kind of require you to um have or anything when you're cashing out. All right, cool. Well, whenever it hits my pay, I'll show the image of it just to show you that it cashed out.
All right, so this is the rant part of it. Hopefully I cover everything. If I don't, they'll be on the blog. I'll keep it updated when I can, or try to. Um, so I guess I'll start with kind of how Misplay kind of is, or compared to other beer money apps. If you've kind of been in the field for a long time, you've probably seen or heard of these things called playtime rewards. And it might not be as common now, but back then there used to be these playtime rewards where they would reward you to play for a certain amount of time. It would usually be like 1 minute for like a couple cents or like a cent or like a couple points. And that's basically what misplay is. But disguised as levels. Now, I'll be honest, Misplay does give you will earn a little faster, but you'll earn a lot less than what you would at like a Playtime Rewards app that would pay you by minute if you have that option. Um, and the reason I say this is Misplay pays you a lot more upfront for leveling up. Um, and one level is equivalent to like getting paid by 1 minute. But when you get past like level 5 or even level 7 actually, or level 8, the amount of time that it takes to level up is longer than it would to get paid on like a pay per minute app. And getting to level, even though you can get to like level 21, it's gonna take you a long time. Like I think it'll take you like multiple days or even a week to like get a level after like level 15 probably by like how exponential the XP is or that it seems. Um, and since that's the case, move on to the next thing. Let's use the example of Raid Shadow Legends or something. You'll probably earn like $8 from what they're paying, at least for me. Um, and you'll for the way that multi or these game offers work. If you read my blog page, I'll have it up by like the end of the week or something, hopefully. Um, that'll explain all these things. You'll make $8, right? Which is great. It's better than nothing, right? But that locks you to only being able to make $8 compared to like other platforms that would offer you like $190 or even like I've seen like $300 for like Raid Shadow Legends or something. And sure, it might take you a little more time and a little more effort, but it's better to be locked to only being able to earn 190 something bucks compared to $8. Like what's the better offer? Obviously the 100 or like $300, right? Um, and I'll explain that all on the blog page. I don't want to do it here just in case Misplay does something about it. But let's move on to the next thing. I think you could honestly earn, if you want to rush this, which I highly recommend that you don't, you could probably make like $50 in a week. But you'll probably be locked to that $50. Or at most, if you do it this way, you'll probably earn up to like $100, which is like nothing, trust me, compared to like other apps or other platforms that I'll make a review on and recommend later down the line. But what you would do is you would download your first app, play for, I don't know, like less than an hour, reach level 5, you hit the cap, or level 5.5, I don't remember. And then you do that with the next app and you repeat. And you'll probably make like $50, which is better than nothing, right? But another thing that this locks you to is I've never tried this because I don't want to lock myself from earning like 100 times more than I can earn on like other apps. Is for one, you'll lose. I assume you'll lose the quest where it says like, oh, download a new game and play for like 30 minutes because you'll eventually run out of apps to like download if you do this method. And basic probability, when you lose one decent thing, you'll be stuck with like the rest, and you'll have a higher chance of getting those quests that ask you to pay like, or to spend like $4 or $5 or even $8 or something. And sure, these quests don't earn you a lot of money, especially the 30 or play a new game for 30 minutes ones. But when it comes to like apps like these, and especially Misplay, there's only one way to earn, which is downloading apps or doing the quests or having your streak or doing the buddy quests or whatever. And I guess the sweepstakes, I've never done them. If you've done them, like let me know how they are, I guess. I don't think they're going to be worth it. But you're essentially, like, trust me, if you read my blog page about it, you're essentially just locking yourself out of making like hundreds or even thousands of dollars with other platforms that offer these games, which I'll recommend and make a review on. The next thing is, I think this is the final thing. I think I'm forgetting about some other stuff, but this final thing is, if you've been in the field for a long time, you probably already know, or if you don't, it's great that you know now. These beer money apps do not pay you a lot. They keep a lot of the majority of money that they get paid for having people do these offers. They keep like a majority of them. This is like a commonly known thing in the beer money scene. And as I said in the beginning, I have never seen another beer money app that's consistently shown more ads than Misplay. Like this thing's got like 2x or 3x the amount of ads that um, other beer money things have, or especially the scam ones and stuff. Um, but when you put two and two together with these two pieces of information of beer money apps already being known for paying you not a lot, or keeping most of the payments that the sponsors give you, as and like Misplay being like the one app that has the most ads, all the money that they could pay you to make you like a fair pay to the users for doing these app offers, they just put it into ads. And what that feels like to me is let me be clear, ads are not cheap, all right. But anyways, let me be like, this is how I see it. It feels like Misplay is trying to churn their app to new users by pushing as many ads as they can and then getting new users. Um, they even pay content creators. I looked up a couple of them, and that probably cost them a lot of money. But they're trying their best. It feels like to get more people onto their app to download their game so they can make more money. And sure, you make a little bit of money, but like trust me, as I said, you make 100 or even 1,000x what you could make on Misplay on other apps, like combined. Not just one app, but like multiple apps. Anyways, but it feels like on top of that, it feels like they push you to like spend money. Like they have so many quests that ask you like, oh, spend this much money on this, or they have incentives to do gems or to spend money to get gems, and then the gem conversion rate to units is terrible. You know, like sure there are other platforms that ask you to buy a small package or a beginner's package, and some of them will profit. They'll pay you more than you spend. A lot of them won't, but at least they'll pay you like a third back or like 2/3 of what you pay back. But in Misplay, they pay you like literally a penny for like spending like $8 or something, maybe like 10 cents actually. Like I'm exaggerating, but like 10, 20 cents or something, which is still like nothing compared to like getting paid like a third of your price back or 2/3 of your price back that you spend. But like Misplay just feels like if like obviously all these beer money apps are money grabbing, but like Misplay definitely feels like the top. With the amount of ads that they push out, and like the quests that they do, and like just all the incentives that like feel like they want you to spend money. Hopefully all this sounds clear. I don't have a script for like the rant, but like I'll have it more concise on my blog and all that. But hopefully all this just lets you be more informed of how this company works and like this app works, and hopefully you don't fall into the trap and all that. And hopefully you do read the blog page about multi-level rewards so you kind of understand this thing a little better. I'd like to explain it here, but like I said, I don't want them to take down this video or something. But like I said, I call this the last resort. It's still worth using to a certain extent after you read the blog page and understand all this. But if this is your first app or second app, I highly don't recommend it. I think that's all that I have for the rant. I'm gonna get back to playing Path of Exile. I'm gonna catch up on my One Piece and all that, and yeah, take care of yourself.